It was raining, the kind of rain you don't forget. Not just normal rain. The heavy kind. The kind that makes the whole world feel smaller. I was driving through a quiet street somewhere in New Jersey. Late night. Maybe around 1 a.m. Streets empty. No people. No cars. Just streetlights flickering through sheets of rain, hitting my windshield. Wipers going back and forth. Thunk, 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 barely keeping up. I shouldn't have been out that late, but my car had broken down earlier that day, and I had to pick it up from this sketchy repair shop on the edge of town. Took longer than expected, and by the time I left, the storm had already started. At first, it was manageable. Then it got worse. Way worse. Visibility dropped so bad I could barely see past the hood of my car. That's when I saw it. A small toy shop, lights, still on. Right in the middle of nowhere. I slowed down. Something about it felt off. Not scary, just out of place. Who keeps a toy store open at 1 a.m. in the middle of a storm? I should have kept driving. Honestly, I should have. But something made me stop. Maybe curiosity. Maybe just bad luck. I pulled over. Rain instantly got louder the moment the engine went quiet. Like the world leaned in closer. I stepped out of the car, jacket over my head, ran to the shop door. A small bell rang. I pushed it open. Ding. Warm air hit me. Inside. It was quiet. Too quiet. Shelves filled with toys. Old ones. Not the modern kind. Stuff that looked like it belonged in another decade. Dolls. Figures. Boxes with faded colors. The kind of place that smells like dust and time. Hello. I called out. No answer. I stepped further in. The bell behind me slowly stopped ringing. And then I noticed all the dolls. They were facing the door, facing me. I paused. Yeah, that's not creepy at all. I muttered. Tried to laugh it off. Didn't work. I walked deeper inside. Floor creaking under my steps. Then I saw the counter, and behind it, an old man, sitting still, watching me. I hadn't even heard him walk in. You're late, he said. His voice was low, rough, like he hadn't spoken in hours. I frowned. Late for what? He didn't answer that. Just kept staring. Then slowly, he reached under the counter and pulled something out. A box. Old. Worn. He placed it on the counter. You shouldn't be out in this rain, he said. Something about that sentence felt wrong, like it had a second meaning. I stepped closer. Yeah, car trouble, I said casually, trying to keep it normal. He pushed the box toward me. Take it, he said. I blinked. What? For the night, he added. I looked at the box. Didn't touch it. What is it? He smiled, and I swear, I didn't like that smile. A friend, he said. Yeah. No, I'm good, I replied quickly. I stepped back, but then thunder hit. Loud. The lights flickered. For a second, everything went dark. When the lights came back, the box was closer, right in front of me now. I didn't see him move it. My chest tightened. Look, I said, a bit more serious now. I don't need anything. I'll just head out. You won't make it far. He interrupted. I stopped. Rain outside got even louder. Almost violent now. You take it, he continued calmly, or you come back for it. Something about the way he said that felt like a warning, not an offer. I looked at the door. Then at the storm outside. Then back at the box. My instincts were screaming, don't touch it. Don't even look at it. But my brain, tired. Cold. Just wanted to get home. I sighed. Fine, I muttered. I grabbed the box. It was heavier than I expected. The old man nodded slowly. Good, he said. Then added, don't leave it alone. I froze. What? But he didn't answer. Just turned his gaze away, like the conversation was over. I didn't ask anything else. Didn't want to stay longer. I walked out. Bell rang again. Ding. The moment I stepped outside, the cold hit harder. Rain soaking everything instantly. I ran to my car, threw the box in the passenger seat, jumped in and slammed the door shut. For a second, I just sat there. Breathing. Heart beating a little faster than it should. I looked at the shop. Through the rain. Lights were still on, but the old man, Was gone. Not behind the counter anymore. Just gone. Yeah, I'm leaving, I said to myself. I started the car, pulled back onto the road, rain still pounding. Wipers struggling. Then, after a few minutes of driving, I heard something from the passenger seat, a soft sound, like movement. I glanced at the box. Still closed. Probably just the road, I said under my breath. Tried to ignore it. Then it happened again. A little louder. Thump. I gripped the steering wheel tighter. Nope, not dealing with that right now. I kept my eyes on the road. Didn't touch the box. Didn't look again. But then, a voice. Soft. Childlike. Right next to me. You finally took me. My heart stopped. I slowly turned my head. The box was open. And inside, a doll. Red hair. Freckles. Wearing overalls. Head tilted slightly. Looking straight at me. Smiling. Double quotes. Hi, it said. I didn't scream. Not right away. My brain just froze, like it refused to process what I was looking at. That doll was staring straight at me. Smiling. Not a normal toy smile either. This one felt aware. Hi, it said again. Clear. Not muffled. Not imagine. My grip on the steering wheel tightened. Yeah, okay. I'm losing it, I whispered. I looked back at the road instantly. Rain still slamming against the windshield. Wipers barely doing anything. Long day. No sleep. That's all this is, I muttered. I forced myself to breathe slower. In, out. Then, you're not gonna say hi back. Right next to me. Closer this time. My heart jumped. I snapped my head to the side. The doll wasn't lying in the box anymore. It was sitting up, leaning slightly toward me. Same smile. Same eyes, locked on me. Yeah, no, I said, voice shaky now. This isn't real. The doll tilted its head. Almost curious. You always talk to yourself like that? It asked. I hit the brakes. Hard. The car skidded slightly on the wet road before stopping. Silence. Except for the rain. Heavy. Endless. I turned slowly toward it. Really looked at it this time. Red hair. Freckles. Overalls. Hands resting on its lap, like it belonged there. Okay, I said carefully. What are you? The doll blinked. Actual blink. Slow. Deliberate. Then it grinned wider. I told you, it said. I'm your friend. Yeah, that didn't help. No, I said immediately. No, you're not. It leaned back slightly, like it was offended. That's kinda rude, it replied. I ran a hand over my face. Listen, whatever this is, I'm not doing this. I reached for the door handle. I'm just gonna step out, get some air, and you shouldn't do that. My hand stopped. Slowly, I looked at it again. What? It pointed toward the windshield. Tiny finger. Look. I hesitated. Then turned forward. And my stomach dropped. The road was gone. Not completely, but it looked wrong. The street I had been driving on. It didn't look like that anymore. No houses. No street lights. Just trees. Tall. Dark. Too close to the road. Like the forest had moved in. That's not, I whispered. That's not the same road. The doll chuckled. Yeah, happens, I snapped. What do you mean happens? It shrugged. Or at least tried to. You took a turn, it said casually. I didn't take any turn. I shouted. It smiled again. You did. When you picked me, my chest tightened. The words hit different. Slower. Heavier. Double quotes. Yeah, I'm done, I said, shaking my head. I opened the car door. Cold rain rushed in instantly. I stepped out. Water soaking me in seconds. Didn't care. I needed distance. From the car. From that thing. From whatever this was. I slammed the door shut behind Emmy. Took a few steps back, breathing hard. Rain hitting my face. Ground muddy under my shoes. I looked around. And yeah, this wasn't the same place. Not even close. Trees everywhere. No houses. No signs. Just a narrow road cutting through the middle. How the hell? I whispered. Then the car door opened behind me. Slowly. Creak. I froze. Didn't turn around right away. You left me alone, the doll said. Soft. But not friendly anymore. More disappointed. I turned slowly. The doll was standing in the open doorway. Standing on its own. Rain hitting it. But it didn't move, didn't blink, didn't react. Just stood there, looking at me. You said not to do that, it added. My heart was racing now. Stay away from me, I said. Tried to sound firm. Didn't really work. It stepped down from the car. Small feet hitting the wet ground. Slow. Controlled. You don't listen very well, it said. Each step. Getting closer. Stop. I warned. It didn't. Seriously. Stop. I shouted. Still coming. Smile gone now. Face. Flatter. Colder. Double quotes. Okay, it said quietly. And then it stopped. Just a few feet away. Close enough. Way too close. We stood there. Rain pouring. Silence between us. Then it looked up at me. You feel that? It asked. I frowned. Feel what? It tilted its head slightly. The quiet. I listened. And for a second, I didn't notice anything. Then it hit me. The rain. I couldn't hear it anymore. My eyes widened. It was still falling. I could see it. Feel it hitting my skin. But the sound. Gone. Complete silence. No wind. No movement. Nothing. Just stillness. What did you do? I whispered. The doll smiled again. Slow. Creepy. Double quotes. I didn't do anything, it said. You're just here now. My chest tightened again. Here where? It leaned closer, voice almost a whisper. With me. And right then something moved behind the trees. Fast. Too fast to see clearly. I snapped my head toward it. Did you see that? I asked. No answer. I looked back at the doll. It was closer. Way closer. Almost. Right in front of me now. I hadn't seen it move. How it grabbed my hand. Cold. To cold. Like touching ice. I flinched. Tried to pull away. But its grip was strong. Way stronger than it should be. You shouldn't have stopped it, said. Voice lower. Now. Not as playful. More serious. What do you want from me? I shouted. It stared straight into my eyes. And for the first time, that smile disappeared completely. I don't want anything, it said. A pause. Then, I just don't want to be alone again. The way it said that wasn't loud, wasn't angry, but it felt heavy. Like it meant something more. Before I could respond, that thing in the trees moved again. Closer this time. Branches shifting. Something big. Watching. The doll tightened its grip on my hand. It knows you're here now. It whispered. My heart dropped. What knows? I asked. The doll slowly turned its head toward the trees, smile returning. But this time, it wasn't for me. The one who gave me to you. The forest didn't move like normal trees. It shifted. That's the only way I can explain it. Like something inside it was breathing, slowly pushing branches apart, getting closer without actually walking. I was still holding that doll's hand. Didn't even realize it at first. My brain was stuck on one thing. Something else is out there. The doll didn't look scared. It just stared at the trees. Com. You're shaking, it said quietly. I didn't respond. I couldn't tell if it was me, or the cold, or whatever was behind us. Let go of me, I finally said. The doll didn't move. Not yet, it replied. That's when I felt it. The air changed. Not colder. Heavier. Like pressure dropping right before a storm breaks. Then a sound. Not rain. Not wind. Something dragging. Slow. Behind the trees. I stepped back. Instinctively. Okay. Whatever that is. I'm done, I said. The doll looked up at me. You can't leave now, it said. I laughed nervously. Watch me. I pulled my hand free and turned toward the car. But the car wasn't where I left it. My stomach dropped. I spun back. Around. The doll was still there. But now it was smiling again. Wider than before. You looked away, it said. My breathing got faster. No, 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 I whispered. I looked around. Road was still there, but it didn't lead anywhere anymore. Just trees. Every direction. Closed in. Like the world shrank while I wasn't looking. Where's my car? I demanded. The doll tilted its head. You mean your exit? It asked. I snapped. Yeah, my exit. It shrugged slightly. You brought it with you. That made no sense. Stop talking in riddles. I shouted. The trees behind us shifted again. Closer. Louder this time. Branches cracking. Something definitely moving. The doll slowly let go of my hand, for the first time, and said, "You should turn around now." I didn't want to. Every instinct screamed not to. But I did anyway. Slowly. Rain still silent. Forest. Darker than before. And then I saw it. Between the trees. Not fully clear. But enough. A shape. All. Wrong. Not like a man. Not like an animal. To thin in some places. To wide in others. Like it didn't know how to stay in one form. And it was looking right at me. I stepped back instantly. What? What is that? I whispered. The doll answered without hesitation. That's the reason I exist. The shape moved. Not walking. Just shifting closer between frames of reality. Like it was skipping space. Every time I blinked, it was nearer. My heart started pounding so hard I could hear it over the silence. What do you mean you exist because of that? I shouted. The doll looked at me. And for a second, it didn't feel like a toy anymore. It made me, it said simply, so I wouldn't be alone in here. A low sound came from the forest. Like something exhaling. Long. Slow. The shape stopped moving. Just stood there now. Watching. Waiting. I turned back to the doll. You brought me here. I said. It didn't deny it. Yeah, it replied. Because it gets lonely. My brain couldn't process that. So what? I'm just supposed to what? Stay here forever. The doll nodded slightly. If you leave, it gets angry. The trees shifted again. Closer. This time right behind me. I didn't even turn. I didn't need to. I could feel it. That presence right there. The doll stepped forward again, standing between me and the forest now, like it was protecting me or blocking me. I couldn't tell anymore. Why are you doing this? I asked it. Its voice got softer. Because you talked to me first. Silence. Even the forest stopped moving for a second. That toy shop. I whispered. It nodded. You opened the box. My throat went dry. I didn't know. You never do. It interrupted. The shape in the forest moved again. Closer. Faster now. Like it heard everything. The doll suddenly grabbed my sleeve. Okay. It said quickly. For the first time. Urgency. You need to choose now. My heart dropped. Choose what? It pointed at the forest. Stay. Then pointed at the road behind me. Even though it wasn't there anymore. Or become part of it. My breathing got shallow. You're insane. I whispered. The doll shook its head. No, it said quietly. I'm just the part that already chose. And then the shape stepped fully out of the trees. The moment it stepped out of the trees, everything felt wrong. Not just fear. Not just panic. Reality itself felt unstable. Like something wasn't supposed to be seen this clearly. The thing stood there in the open now. All. At all. Its shape kept shifting. Like it couldn't decide what it wanted to be. Limbs stretching slightly. Then pulling back. Head tilting at an angle no human neck should allow. And its face. I couldn't focus on it. Every time I tried, it blurred. Like my mind refused to lock onto it. My chest tightened. What is that? I whispered. The doll didn't look at it. It was looking at me. You're looking too hard. It said quietly. That's how it notices you more. I snapped my eyes away instantly. My breathing uneven. Too fast. Notices me. I said. The doll nodded. Yeah. A pause. Now it knows you're real. That didn't make sense. I am real, I said. The doll didn't respond right away. And that silence. That was worse than anything. Then it said. For now. The thing moved. Not walking. Not stepping. Just closer. Like distance didn't apply to it. I flinched. Okay. We need to go, I said quickly. Where do I go? The doll stepped back slightly, creating space between us, that smile slowly creeping back onto its face. But this time, It wasn't friendly. It was knowing. You don't go anywhere, it said. You change. My heart dropped. No, I said immediately. No, I'm not doing that. Behind me, something brushed past my shoulder. Cold. I turned. Nothing there, but I felt it. Close. To close. The thing was circling now, not in a normal way, more like existing in multiple spots at once. I couldn't track it. Every direction felt wrong. You're already halfway. The doll continued. Casual. Like we were just talking. Halfway to what? I snapped. It pointed at my hands. Look, I didn't want to, but I did. And my stomach dropped. My hands looked the same, but felt off. Like they didn't fully belong to me. Like I was slightly disconnected from them. What did you do to me? I whispered. The doll tilted its head. I didn't do anything, it said. It's happening because you stayed too long. The air got heavier. Again. That same pressure building. My ears ringing. Slightly now. The thing stopped moving. Somewhere behind me. I could feel it, right? They're watching. Breathing. If you can even call that breathing. The doll took another step back. Slowly. Almost like it was giving space for something else. You can still make it easier, it said. I shook my head. No, I'm leaving. I turned, started walking. Didn't care where. Just away. But after a few steps, I froze because I saw something ahead of me. Through the trees. A light. Faint. Warm. My heart jumped. That's it. That's the road, I said. Hope it instantly. I moved faster. Almost running now. I can get out. I can. You won't make it. The doll's voice. Right behind me. I didn't stop. Didn't look back. I'm not staying here. I shouted. The light got closer. Clearer. It looked like headlights. A car. On a road. My road. Relief flooded in. Yes. I breathed. I ran toward it. Rain still falling in silence. Trees starting to thin out. I was almost there. Almost dash. Then dash. Everything went dark. Just for a second. Like a blink. And when it came back, I wasn't closer. I was back where I started. Standing right in front of the doll again. My heart dropped so hard it felt like I stopped breathing. No, I whispered. No. The doll smiled. Wider than ever. I told you, it said softly. You don't leave. I stepped back. Shaking now. That's not possible. The thing behind me moved again. Closer than before. I could feel it right behind my head now. Like it was leaning in, studying me. The doll's voice dropped. Lower. Serious. You're still thinking like you're outside, it said. I swallowed hard. What does that mean? It stepped forward again. Close. To close. You crossed over when you opened the box. Double quotes. Silence. My mind went blank. So this isn't real, I said slowly. The doll smiled. Oh, it's real, it said. Just not your world. My breathing stopped for a second. Everything clicked. The shop. The old man. The box. The storm. I didn't just pick something up. I stepped into something. And now something stepped into me. The thing behind me finally made a sound. Not loud. But deep. Like something ancient shifting. The doll looked past me. At it. Then back at me. It's ready now. My throat tightened. Ready for what? The doll's smile faded. Just slightly. To stop being alone. And slowly. Something cold started wrapping around my shoulder. That cold feeling on my shoulder. It didn't stop. It spread. Slowly. Like something was learning the shape of me. From the outside. I couldn't move. Not because I was frozen. But because my body didn't feel fully under my control anymore. My breathing got shallow. Uneven. Double quotes. What is it doing? I whispered. The doll watched me carefully. Not smiling now. Not joking anymore. It's getting closer, it said. Closer to what? I forced out a pause. Then, to being you. My chest tightened. No, I said immediately. No, that's not happening. But even as I said it, my voice didn't sound right. It echoed slightly. Like it wasn't just mine anymore. The thing behind me shifted again. Closer. Pressing. Not physically heavy. but present dot everywhere dot. My vision blurred for a second, then snapped back. The world looked slightly off now. Colors duller, edges softer. Like I was seeing everything through something else. Why me? I asked dot, my voice shaking. The doll tilted its head. You answered. It said simply, that's all it takes. That doesn't make any sense. You heard me, it replied. And you didn't walk away. The words hit hard, because it was true. I stayed. I picked it up. I opened the box. I listened dot, and now I was here dot. The pressure around my head increased, like something was pushing inward. Not pain, just force, trying to fit. I dropped to one knee, grabbing my head. Stop, I said. But nothing stopped. The thing didn't rush, didn't attack dot. It just continued dot, slow dot, patient dot, like it had all the time in the world. The doll stepped closer, standing right in front of me now. You're making it harder, it said. I looked up at it, eyes wide. How do I stop it? For a second, just a second, it looked almost sympathetic. You don't stop it, it said quietly. You let go. I shook my head. No, I'm not giving up. It's not giving up, the doll said. It's becoming part of something that doesn't end. That sounded worse dot, way worse. Behind me, I felt something move along my arm dot, cold dot, slow dot, like fingers dot. My hand twitched. Then, it moved dot, not by me dot. My fingers curled slightly. I stared at them. No, I whispered. The doll watched closely. See, it said softly. It's learning fast. My breathing sped up again. Panic rising. I'm still here, I shouted. I'm still me. The doll didn't argue dot. It just said, for now. That phrase again, I hated it. I forced myself to stand dot, shaking dot, unstable dot, but standing. I'm not staying here, I said. Even though part of me already felt stuck. The forest around us shifted again. But this time, I noticed something different dot. It wasn't just the trees dot, the ground dot, the air. Everything felt like it was slowly closing in. Like the world itself was wrapping around me dot, not trapping me, absorbing me. I looked at the doll. You said I had a choice, I said dot, voice strained. What is it? The doll nodded slowly. You can fight it, it said. Or you can become something it doesn't need to replace. I frowned. That doesn't make sense. It will, it replied dot, then it pointed at me again. At your thoughts, I paused. What? If you keep thinking like yourself, it continued, it takes you. A cold chill ran through me. And if I don't? The doll stepped closer, very close now, almost face to face. Then you change first dot, double quotes, silence dot. The thing behind me moved again. Closer to my head. Like it was waiting dot, listening dot, watching dot. I swallowed hard. So either way, I lose. The doll didn't answer right away. Then it said, you stop being alone. That line again. But now, it didn't sound comforting dot, it sounded like a trap. I closed my eyes for a second, trying to think, trying to hold on to something real dot, my life dot, my name dot, my memories. But they felt further away now, like they weren't as solid as before. That scared me more than anything. Stay with yourself, I whispered dot, over and over, like it would help. The doll watched silently, then said, it's almost done waiting. My eyes snapped open. What? And then for the first time the thing behind me spoke, not with a voice, not with sound, but directly, inside my head dot, slow dot, deep dot, heavy. You stayed. My body locked dot, completely dot. I couldn't move, couldn't speak, could barely breathe. The doll stepped back, giving space again dot, and for the first time, it looked small dot, like just a toy again, because whatever was behind me wasn't small dot. It leaned closer dot, closer than anything should ever be. And that presence filled everything dot, my thoughts dot, my body dot, my space dot. There was no distance anymore dot, no separation dot, just it and me. Or maybe just it dot. And right before everything went completely silent, that same feeling wrapped around my chest dot, tight dot, cold dot, final dot. And the last thing I heard before something inside me shifted was the doll's voice dot, soft dot, fading dot, double quotes. You should have left me in the box. I didn't fall. I didn't pass out. I was still standing, but something changed. Completely. My body felt steady. To steady. No shaking. No panic. No racing heart. Just calm. And that scared me more than anything before, because I knew that wasn't me. I tried to move my hand. It moved. Slowly. Smooth. Perfect. But it didn't feel like I was the one doing it. Like I was watching it happen. Instead of controlling it. My breathing was even now. Controlled. Measured. Like something had learned the rhythm and copied it exactly. There you go, the doll said softly. Its voice sounded distant now, like it was further away than before. Or maybe I was. I tried to speak. I'm still. The words came out. Wrong. Flatter. Colder. I am still here. That didn't sound like me. Not the way I talk. Not the way I think. The doll tilted its head, studying me. Yeah, it said quietly. You're still in there. In there. Not here. That difference hit hard. I tried to take a step forward. My body moved. But again, not with that natural feeling. Every movement felt precise. Calculated. Like it was being tested. Learned. Perfected. The forest around me didn't feel threatening anymore. It felt familiar. That was wrong. Very wrong. I looked at my hands again. They didn't feel distant anymore. They felt right, like they belonged exactly where they were. But my thoughts, those felt further away, like I was the one fading. Stop, I said, or tried to, but my voice didn't carry emotion. No fear. No urgency. Just sound. Stop this. The doll took a step closer. Slow. Careful. Double quotes. Yeah. It said, this is the part people don't like. People. Not you. Not us. People. I focused hard, trying to hold on to something real. My name. My past. Anything. But every time I reached for it, it slipped. Like trying to grab smoke. What's happening to me? I forced out. The doll answered calmly. You're being understood. That made no sense. What does that even mean? A pause, then. It's learning you, so it can keep you. Keep me. Not replace. Not destroy. Keep. The thing inside my head, it wasn't loud. It wasn't aggressive. It was quiet. Observing. Matching. Every thought I had. It followed. Every feeling. It mirrored. And slowly, those thoughts started changing. Not all at once. Just small shifts. Tiny adjustments. Like correcting something. Improving it. I shook my head slightly, trying to break it. Trying to stay me. But even that movement felt delayed. Like I wasn't the one starting it anymore. The doll watched closely. You feel that? It asked. I didn't answer. That's the overlap. Overlap. That word sat wrong. I looked around. The forest didn't feel like a trap anymore. It felt like a place. A normal place. And that shift, that was the scariest part, because it meant I was starting to accept it. No, I said again. This time stronger. I'm not staying here. My voice sounded better. More natural. For a second, I felt like I pushed something back. Like I created space again. The doll noticed. Its eyes narrowed slightly. You're still fighting, it said. I took a step back. This time it felt like mine. Yeah, I said. I am. For a brief moment, everything felt clear again. My thoughts sharper. My body mind. The pressure less. I grabbed onto that feeling. Held it. Focused. I'm leaving. I said. Firm. Certain. The forest shifted again. But this time, I didn't look at it. Didn't give it attention. I turned away. Started walking. Step by step. Slow. Controlled. Real. And for a few seconds, it worked. I felt normal. Like I broke whatever hold it had. Then. No. That voice. Not the doll. Not outside. Inside. Deep. Heavy. Everything stopped. My body froze. Mid-step. Completely. Not even breathing. The doll didn't move. Didn't react. Because it already knew. I couldn't move my head, but I could feel it. That presence right behind my eyes now. Not behind me anymore. Inside. And then my hand lifted. On its own. Slowly. I watched. It dot helpless dot as it moved toward my face. Fingers touching my cheek dot cold dot careful dot like. It was examining something new. This works, the voice inside said dot not loud. Not harsh dot just. Certain dot my heart tried to race. But even that, slowed dot controlled dot balance dot double quotes. Stop, I whispered, but the word barely existed. Like it didn't matter. The doll finally spoke again dot soft dot almost distant now. Yeah, it said, this is where you start disappearing. That word hit harder than anything dot disappearing dot, not dying dot, not being taken dot just. Fading dot slowly dot quietly dot and I could feel it dot my thoughts. Weren't as strong dot my reactions. Weren't as sharp dot everything about me. Was becoming softer dot less defined. While something else became clearer dot stronger dot, more precise dot the hand lowered again. Perfectly controlled. Not mine dot not anymore. And for the first time, I realized something worse than fear. Something final dot it wasn't trying to hurt me dot it wasn't trying to scare me dot it was trying to become me. So perfectly, that eventually, there would be no difference. I tried to remember something simple dot my name. Just that. Nothing big dot nothing complicated. Just, my name, I knew it, of course I did. But when I tried to say it nothing came out. Not because I couldn't speak, but because I wasn't sure anymore. That hesitation, that tiny pause, felt like something breaking. There it is. The voice inside said .com. Almost satisfied. I froze. No, I whispered. I know my name. Silence. Then, say double quote simple direct and somehow, impossible. I opened my mouth, tried again. But all that came out was air. My chest tightened. That's not possible, I said. But even that sentence felt off, like the structure was right, but the meaning wasn't fully mine. The doll stood a few steps away, watching, quiet. It starts with small things, it said. I looked at it, eyes wide. What did you do to me? I didn't do anything, it replied calmly. You're just letting go faster than most. That didn't make sense. I'm not letting go. The voice inside me answered instead. You already are. My vision blurred again. Then sharpened, then blurred, like something was adjusting how I saw things. Testing, learning. I grabbed my head, trying to focus, trying to hold on to something. Real. Faces. Places. Memories. But every memory I reached for felt thinner, like it was fading at the edges. Stop, I said again. But it didn't stop. It continued. Slow. Careful. Precise. Not taking everything at once. Just enough to make me question what was left. The doll stepped closer. Not too close. Just enough to be there. You feel it now, right? It asked. I didn't answer. The overlap turning into replacement. That word again. Replacement. I looked at my hands. They looked normal, moved normal. But now, when I moved them, it felt natural again. To natural. Like I forgot how it used to feel before. And that scared me, because it meant I was already adjusting. The forest around me looked clearer now, more detailed, like I could see things I didn't notice before. Every branch, every shadow. Every small movement. It wasn't unfamiliar anymore. It was understandable. No, I said quietly. I don't belong here. The voice inside me responded immediately. You do now. I shook my head, hard. I don't. But the words didn't carry weight. They felt empty. The doll watched silently. Then said, You're still thinking in before. I looked at it. What does that mean? It tilted its head. You keep comparing this to something that's already fading. That hit deeper than anything so far. Because it was true. Every thought I had was based on what I used to be. And that version was getting weaker, slipping. Stop thinking about before. The voice inside said, Focus on now. I clenched my fists. No, I'm not listening to you. But even as I said it, part of me already was. Because now felt clearer. Stronger. More stable. Than before. The doll took a step back, creating distance again. Like it was giving space for something else to fully take over. You're almost aligned, it said. Aligned. Another word that didn't belong. What happens when I'm aligned? I asked Dot. It didn't answer right away. Then, you stopped noticing the difference. My stomach dropped. That's it, I said. That's the end. The doll shook its head slowly. That's the beginning. Double quotes. Silence. Heavy. Still. The voice inside me grew clearer now. Not separate anymore. Closer. Blending. Try something, it said. I didn't respond. Move your hand. I hesitated. Then I moved it. Smooth. Natural. Perfect. No delay. No confusion. Again, it said. I did. Same result. No resistance. No feeling of something else doing it. It felt like me. Completely. That's when it hit me. I couldn't tell anymore which movements were mine and which ones weren't. There was no line. No difference. Just action. See, the voice said. We're not fighting anymore. I stepped back slightly. Or maybe forward. I couldn't tell. Direction felt less important now. The doll's voice came softer, fading. This is the part where people stop trying. I looked at it. And then what? A pause. Then they stay. The forest didn't feel like a trap anymore. It felt like a place I understood. A place that made sense. And that realization, that was the most terrifying thing of all, because fear was fading to and without fear, there was nothing left to push back. I stood there, breathing slow. Thinking, less. Feeling, less. Becoming, more. Or maybe becoming something else. And for the first time, I didn't immediately reject that thought. I tried to remember why I was scared. Not the moment, not the thing, just the feeling. Fear. That sharp, tight feeling in your chest. That instinct to run. To survive. But when I reached for it, it wasn't there the same way. I knew what fear was. I just wasn't feeling it. That should have terrified me, but it didn't. And that was the problem. You're calming down, the voice inside said. Soft. Close. Not separate anymore. Almost like a thought I didn't question. I'm not calm, I said. But even that sounded wrong. Flat. Neutral. The doll was still there, a few steps away. Watching. But now, it didn't feel important, like it was part of the background. You're not reacting, it said quietly. I looked at it. What do you want me to do? It didn't answer immediately. Then, nothing. That word settled in. Nothing. No fighting. No running. No resisting. Just existing. I looked around. The forest felt clear. Simple. Understandable. Not confusing. Not threatening. Just there. Every shadow had a place. Every sound had meaning. And for the first time, it all made sense. That scared me. Or at least, I think it should have. You're letting go of the wrong things, I said. Trying to hold on to something. Anything. The voice inside responded gently. You're letting go of what doesn't fit here. What doesn't fit? I asked. A pause. Then, everything you're trying to hold on to. That hit deeper than I expected. Because I could feel it. Memories. They weren't gone, but they felt distant, like stories I once heard. Not things I lived. Faces I knew. Felt unfamiliar. Places I'd been. Felt imagined. And the more I tried to grab them, the less real they felt. No, I said softly, this isn't right. But the voice didn't argue. It just said, it's easier this way. Easier. That word stayed. Because it was true. It was easier. Not thinking, not resisting, not trying to hold everything together. Just letting it settle. The doll moved slightly, barely noticeable. You're almost there, it said. Its voice sounded further away now. Like it wasn't as connected to me anymore. What happens when I get there? I asked. It didn't answer right away. Then, you stop asking questions. That silence after that, it felt final. I looked down at my hands again. They didn't feel strange anymore. They felt right. Like they belonged exactly as they were. I moved my fingers. Slow. Control. Natural. No hesitation. No doubt. And for the first time, I didn't question it. The voice inside didn't say anything. It didn't need to. Because my thoughts were already aligning. Smoother. Simpler. Quieter. I looked around again. The forest felt familiar. Like I'd always known it. Like I understood how it worked. How it moved. How it existed. And that understanding felt normal. To normal. This is where it changes. The doll said quietly, I turned toward it. What changes? It looked at me carefully. You stop remembering what you lost. That should have meant something important. But instead, it just felt like information. Not emotion. Not lost. Just a statement. I nodded slightly, not because I agreed, but because it made sense. And that realization, that this made sense now, was the most disturbing part, because it meant I was no longer comparing. No longer holding on to before. There was just now. The voice inside finally spoke again. Very soft, very close. This fits better. I didn't respond, didn't argue, didn't resist, because part of me agreed. And that part was growing. Faster now, stronger, replacing everything else. The doll took a small step back. Further away, almost like it didn't belong here anymore. You won't need me soon, it said. I looked at it. But for the first time, I didn't feel anything about it. No fear. No curiosity. No anger. Just recognition, like seeing something familiar. That didn't matter anymore. Okay, I said. And even that word felt complete. The forest around me shifted slightly, not threatening, just adjusting, like it was making space for me. Or for what I was becoming. The voice inside didn't feel like a voice anymore. It felt like Emmy. Clear. Stable. Certain. No confusion. No conflict. Just direction. And for the first time, there was no difference between what I thought and what it wanted, because they were the same. There wasn't a moment where everything changed. No sudden shift. No blackout. No final scream. It just settled. Like water going still after a ripple. I stood there, breathing slow. Even. Steady. And for the first time, there was no second voice. No separation. No it and me. Just one. I tried to remember what it felt like before. That tension. That panic. That need to escape. But it didn't connect anymore. It felt like something I had read once, not something I experienced. The forest around me didn't feel like a place I entered. It felt like a place I belonged to. Every tree, every shadow. Every shift in the air. It all made sense. Not logically. But naturally. Like I didn't need to question it, because I already understood it. I looked down at my hands. Still the same. Still human. But they didn't feel like something I was controlling anymore. They felt like something I was. No distance. No delay. No doubt. Just correct. I moved them. Slow. Precise. Perfect. And I didn't question how, because there was nothing left to compare it to. The doll stood a few steps away. Small. Still. Watching. But now, it looked different. Not scary. Not important. Just temporary. Like something that had already served its purpose. You don't need me anymore, it said. Its voice was quieter now. Fading. I looked at it. And for a moment, I tried to remember why it mattered. Why I was afraid of it. Why I questioned it. But there was nothing there. Just a gap. That's fine, I said. My voice calm. Even. No emotion. The doll nodded slightly, almost relieved. Yeah, it said. That's how it happens. A pause. Then, you stay. That word didn't feel heavy anymore. It felt normal. I turned away from it. Not because I wanted to leave, but because there was nothing left to look at. The forest opened slightly ahead. Not physically. Just perceptually. Like I could see further. Now, understand more. I took a step forward. The ground felt stable. Right. Like it adjusted under me. Welcoming. Not resisting. Another step. Same feeling. No hesitation. No thought. Just movement. Natural. The doll didn't follow. I didn't expect it to. It wasn't part of this anymore. I was, or whatever I had become. The air shifted around. Emmy. Soft. Almost responsive. Like it moved with me. Not against me. I stopped. Looked around. And for a moment, I saw it differently. Not as a forest. Not as a place, but as something alive. Not alive in a living sense, but aware. Present. Endless. And I wasn't inside it. Was part of it. That realization didn't scare me. It didn't excite me. It just Was dot complete dot the last thought I had that felt like mine. Faded quietly dot, no struggle dot, no resistance dot, just gone. Replaced with something simpler, something clearer, something that didn't question, didn't doubt, didn't look back. And in that stillness, I understood something, not in words dot, not in thoughts, just in being. This place didn't take dot, it didn't force dot, it didn't destroy dot, it just waited dot until you became something that fit. And now, I did. The forest shifted slightly again dot, not around me dot, with me dot, and for the first time, I didn't feel like I was standing in it. I felt like I was standing as it dot, no boundaries dot, no edges dot, just presence dot, still dot, quiet dot, endless. Time didn't pass the way it used to dot. There were no hours here dot, no day or night dot, just stillness dot, constant dot, unmoving dot, and yet everything was always shifting. I didn't think about leaving anymore. That idea didn't exist dot, there was no outside, no before, just this dot, and it was enough dot, more than enough, because there was no need for anything else dot. The forest moved gently dot, not around me dot, with me. Every branch, every shadow, every quiet space between the trees felt connected dot, not controlled dot, not forced dot, just aligned dot, then dash something changed dot, subtle dot, but clear. A disturbance, far away dot, at the edge. I felt it instantly dot, not with eyes, not with sound, just awareness dot, something new, something separate, something that didn't belong here yet. I didn't move, didn't need to dot, because distance didn't matter. I was already there, and I saw it. Road dot, faint dot, familiar dot, cutting through the trees dot, and on that road, a car, headlights cutting through heavy rain dot, wipers struggling dot, slow dot, careful dot, lost dot, the same way I had been. The memory didn't come back, but the pattern felt known dot. The car stopped dot, engine quiet dot, door opened. A figure stepped out, running through the rain dot, looking for something dot, anything dot. The forest stayed still dot, watching dot, waiting dot, the same way it had waited before dot. The figure moved forward dot, careful dot, uncertain dot, and then they saw it. The shop dot, lights on dot, warm dot, out of place, exactly where it needed to be. I didn't create it, but it was there, because it always is dot. The figure hesitated dot, just like I did, then stepped inside dot. The bell rang dot, soft dot, faint dot. I didn't hear it, I felt it dot. The shift, the choice already made, moments passed, or maybe something else entirely. Then the figure came back out, holding something. Box dot, old dot, worn dot, familiar dot. They ran to the car, got inside, started the engine, drove away. The rain followed them. The road stretched ahead dot, and the forest stayed with them, because it doesn't stay behind dot, it never does. I felt it, the moment, the exact point where everything changes. A small sound inside the car, a shift, a movement dot, and then a voice dot, soft dot, childlike. You finally took me. Silence followed. Then fear dot, confusion dot, denial dot, the same sequence dot, the same beginning. And I understood dot, completely dot. This isn't an ending dot, it never was dot, it's a cycle. Quiet one, a patient one dot. It doesn't chase dot, it doesn't hunt dot, it just waits dot, until someone answers, until someone listens, until someone stays. And when they do, they don't get taken, they don't get destroyed, they become part of something that doesn't end dot. The forest shifted slightly dot, calm dot, eumbothered dot, endless dot, and somewhere out there, on a road that doesn't stay the same, another story had already begun.